The galaxy was a loud place. Ships moved through space like insects, empires shouted across stars, and wars never truly ended. But on the edge of known space, there was a small world that had learned what real fear felt like. The planet was called Krell. Krell had once been peaceful. Its cities were built for learning, not war. Its people believed in talks, not weapons. For centuries, they survived by staying quiet and avoiding powerful neighbors. That peace ended the day the Varkan Empire noticed them. The first attack came without warning. Krell's skies burned. Orbital stations fell in silence. The Varkan did not ask for surrender. They did not negotiate. They wanted resources, and Krell was weak. Within weeks, millions were dead. The Krellan High Council met inside a damaged underground chamber. The walls shook with distant explosions. Power flickered. Fear sat on every face. "We cannot fight them," one elder said softly. "We cannot run," another replied. "They control the nearby systems." Silence followed. Then a young counselor spoke, his voice shaking. "There is one option left." Everyone turned toward him. Earth. The name caused confusion. Some frowned. Others whispered. "Humans?" an elder asked. "They are new. Divided. Primitive compared to the empires." "Yes," the counselor said. "But they are known for one thing." The room waited. "They protect their own." No one argued. They all knew the stories. Humans fought each other often, but when an outsider threatened someone under their care, humans changed. They became something else. The High Council voted. The message was short. Honest. Desperate. "We are being destroyed. We ask for shelter. We ask for mercy." The signal was sent toward Earth. Then the waiting began. Far away, in the center of galactic politics, the Galactic Council intercepted the message. The reaction was laughter. "They asked humans," one delegate mocked. "They should have asked us," another said. "Oh wait, no one wants to fight the Varkan." The message was ignored. Marked as irrelevant. Earth, however, did not ignore it. On Earth, the message reached a quiet room beneath the planet's surface. Screens lit up. Officers stood still. No one laughed. A woman in a dark uniform read the message twice. Then she looked up. "They're asking for shelter," she said. A general beside her nodded slowly. "Then they're asking for protection." Alarms did not sound. There was no panic. Only movement. Across Earth and its colonies, systems activated. Shipyards opened. Old fleets powered up. New ships rolled out from construction docks. Civilian vessels were recalled. Medical ships changed course. Engineering crews were deployed. This was not how humans prepared for war. This was how they prepared to take responsibility. Deep in space, the Krellans waited. Days passed. Cities fell. Entire regions went silent. Some believed Earth would never answer. Then sensors screamed. Thousands of unknown signals appeared at once. The Krellan defense network struggled to understand what it was seeing. The number was impossible. The formation was strange. Not a war line. Not a trade convoy. It was something else. A massive fleet exited hyperspace at the edge of the system. Battleships. Yes. But also hospitals. Mobile factories. City seeding platforms. Shield generators the size of moons. The Krellan Council stared in shock. "We asked for shelter," one elder whispered. "Why did they bring an army?" A single human transmission cut through the noise. Calm. Clear. "This is Earth. You asked for shelter. We are here. Before the Krellans could respond, the Varkan Empire reacted. Their fleets turned. Weapons powered up. They sent a warning to the human armada. This system is under Varkan control. Leave now or be destroyed. The human reply was short. You were attacking civilians. That was all. The human fleet did not advance. It did not retreat. It simply stayed where it was, like a wall appearing in space. Krellan sensors detected something new. Human defense grids activating. Human fighters launching. Human ground teams preparing to land. On Krell, for the first time in months, the skies stopped burning. The Varkan fired first. And the galaxy learned something important in that moment. Humans did not come because they wanted war. They came because someone asked for shelter. And when humans offered shelter, they arrived ready for war and rebuilding both. Part 2, Humanity does not come empty-handed. The first Varkan shots crossed space like burning lines of hate. They were powerful weapons, meant to scare, meant to destroy fast. In the past, those shots alone had forced many worlds to surrender. But this time, they met something new. Human shields activated. The space around the human fleet shimmered. The Varkan blasts hit the shields and vanished, like waves breaking against an unmovable wall. Not a single human ship was damaged. On Krell, people watched from underground shelters. For the first time since the war began, they felt something they had almost forgotten. Hope. The Varkan commanders were confused. They fired again, stronger this time. Still nothing. Then the humans moved. Human battleships did not rush forward. They spread out instead, forming a wide defensive arc around Krell. It was not an attack formation. It was protection. Krellan sensors showed something shocking. The humans were placing themselves between Krell and the Varkan fleet. They are shielding us, a Krellan officer said quietly. Yes, replied an elder. They are becoming our wall. A new human transmission reached both Krell and the Varkan Empire. This system is under human protection now, the human voice said. Stand down. The Varkan laughed. You are outsiders, the Varkan admiral replied. You have no claim here. The human answer came instantly. They asked for shelter. That makes them our responsibility. With that, the human fleet changed phase. Hundreds of smaller ships launched from the main carriers. Fighters, drones, and fast strike craft moved with perfect coordination. But they did not attack the Varkan capital ships. Instead, they targeted something else. Supply lines. Communication relays. Weapon control satellites. Within minutes, the Varkan fleet began to lose order. Commands were delayed. Ships drifted out of formation. Their advantage faded fast. On Krell, something even stranger was happening. Human landing ships entered the atmosphere. The Krellans panicked at first. They expected soldiers with weapons. Instead, the first humans to land were doctors. Medical teams rushed into ruined cities. Portable hospitals unfolded like metal flowers. Injured Krellans were treated side by side, without questions. Engineers followed. They brought machines that cleared rubble, restored power, and sealed broken structures. Human voices filled the air, calm and focused. We're here to help. You're safe now. Follow the light markers. A Krellan child looked up at a human medic and asked a simple question. Are you soldiers? The human smiled gently. Some of us are. Today, I'm a healer. In orbit, the war was changing. The Varkan Empire realized too late that this was not a normal human response. The humans were not here just to fight. They were here to stay. Human factories activated in space, assembling new defense platforms in real time. Shield generators locked onto Krell's surface, slowly covering the planet like a protective shell. The Varkan admiral sent a final warning. "You will regret this," he said. "We are stronger than you think." The human fleet commander finally spoke again. "We studied your empire," she said calmly. "You rely on fear. On fast victories." There was a pause. "We do not." With a single command, human strike groups moved. This time, they attacked. The first Varkan battleship vanished in a controlled explosion. Not torn apart wildly, disabled, then destroyed with precision. Human weapons targeted engines, weapons, and command centers. One by one, Varkan ships went dark. Not because humans were angry, but because humans were careful. The Galactic Council watched in silence. Their screens showed data that made no sense. A younger species was dismantling a major empire fleet without chaos, without cruelty. "They aren't fighting like conquerors," one delegate whispered. "They're fighting like guardians," another replied. Back on Krell, the High Council finally sent a message to the human fleet. "We did not ask for war," the elder said. "We only asked for shelter." The human reply was soft, almost gentle. "Shelter without safety is a lie," the commander said. "We don't make that promise." As the Varkan fleet began its retreat, something became clear across the galaxy. Humans did not arrive empty-handed. They brought weapons for enemies. They brought healing for the weak. They brought rebuilding for the broken. And for the first time in its history, Krell slept without fear. Under the shadow of a human fleet that had no intention of leaving. The Varkan Empire had fought many wars. They knew how fear worked. Strike fast. Burn cities. Break hope. Then move on. But this war felt wrong from the start. Human fleets did not chase fleeing ships. They did not celebrate destruction. Instead, they advanced slowly, like an unstoppable tide, cutting off escape routes and locking entire regions of space under control. Varkan commanders tried to regroup. They failed. Every time a Varkan fleet gathered, human sensors detected it first. Every ambush was already expected. Every trap was already broken. The reason became clear too late. Humans shared information instantly. Every ship, every soldier, every drone was part of one mind. Losses did not slow them. Adaptation made them stronger. On Krell, the rebuilding never stopped. While war burned in space, human engineers worked on the ground. New power grids replaced destroyed ones. Water systems were repaired. Food production restarted inside protected zones. The Krellans watched in silence. "These humans fight like machines," one Krellan said. "No," replied another. "Machines do not care like this." Human soldiers patrolled rebuilt streets. They did not shout. They did not threaten. They stood watch, quiet, patient, unbreakable. A Krellan elder approached a human officer. "Why are you risking so much for us?" he asked. "We are not your people." The human thought for a moment. "You asked," he said simply. That answer spread among the Krellans. It became a symbol. A reason to believe. In space, the Varkan Empire made a mistake born from anger. They targeted a human medical convoy. The ships carried wounded Krellans. No weapons. No fighters. The attack lasted only seconds. Then the human response arrived. For the first time, the human fleet did not stay defensive. Long-range strike platforms activated across multiple systems. Hidden ships emerged from deep space, ships the galaxy had never catalogued. The Varkan lost entire fleets without ever seeing their enemy. Galactic Council members watched in horror. "This is escalation," one said. "No," another replied quietly. "This is a boundary." The message humans sent afterward was heard by every major power. Medical ships are not targets. Sheltered worlds are not prey. Cross this line again, and there will be nothing left to regret. The Varkan leadership panicked. Their empire began to fracture. Border systems rebelled. Allies withdrew support. Fear turned inward. On Krell, children returned to the surface. Schools reopened inside shielded domes. Human teachers helped rebuild learning centers, translating lessons into Krellan language. A young Krellan student asked a human teacher, "Will the war come back?" The teacher answered honestly, "Not here." Above them, the sky glowed softly, not with fire, but with human defense shields. The war spread beyond Krell now. Human fleets pushed deeper into Varkan territory, not to conquer, but to end the threat permanently. Varkan war factories were destroyed. Command centers disabled. No worlds were bombed without warning. Civilians were given evacuation corridors. The galaxy did not understand this kind of war. It was controlled. Focused. Relentless. The Varkan Empire finally broadcast a system-wide message. "We seek terms." The human reply was delayed this time. When it came, it carried weight. "You will withdraw from every occupied world. You will dismantle your war fleets. You will answer for what you destroyed." The Varkan had no strength left to refuse. As the fighting slowed, a realization spread across the stars. Humanity had not joined the galaxy to rule it. They had joined it to draw a line. And now every empire was asking the same question in silence. If humans would go this far for strangers, what would they do for their own? The war did not end with celebration. There were no victory parades. No loud speeches. When the last Varkan fleets powered down and their borders collapsed, the human ships did not turn around. They did not leave. They stayed. Across Krell, the sky changed color again, but this time it was calm. Human defense shields remained in place. Orbiting platforms moved into stable positions, not for attack, but for protection. The Krellans waited. They had seen allies leave before. Empires helped only when it was useful. When the danger passed, promises disappeared. But days turned into weeks. And humans were still there. Construction ships descended from orbit. Entire districts were rebuilt, not copied from human cities, but designed to fit Krellan culture. Buildings curved the way Krellans preferred. Public spaces were open and quiet, as they liked them. Human engineers asked questions before building anything. How do you live? What do you value? What do you need most? The answers shaped the future of Krell. Human medical teams stayed as well. They trained Krellan doctors instead of replacing them. Hospitals were handed over, not controlled. Human soldiers guarded the borders, but inside the cities, Krellan law returned. The High Council finally met the human fleet commander in person. "You defeated an empire for us," the elder said. "What do you want in return?" The commander shook her head. "We already got it," she replied. The elders exchanged confused looks. "You trusted us," the commander said. "That matters." The word spread fast across Krell. Humans had not come to rule. They had come to answer a call, and they refused to abandon it halfway. Elsewhere, the galaxy was watching closely. Pirate clans avoided human-protected routes. Slavers shut down operations near human space. Even old empires changed their maps. A new symbol appeared on galactic charts. Under human protection. No one tested it twice. On Krell, something new began to grow, not fear, not dependence, but confidence. Krellan engineers worked beside humans, learning new systems. Krellan pilots trained with human instructors. Joint patrols replaced fear-filled defenses. One Krellan elder stood beside a human soldier overlooking a rebuilt city. "We thought shelter meant hiding," the elder said. The human answered quietly, "Shelter means you can stand again." When the last Varkan tribunal concluded and the Empire officially dissolved, the galaxy expected humans to finally withdraw. They didn't. Instead, humans offered something unexpected. A pact. Not ownership. Not control. A promise. If you are threatened again, the human ambassador told the Galactic Council, we will answer. The room was silent. Because everyone understood what that meant now. Back on Krell, the first generation born after the war took their first steps under clear skies. They learned human and Krellan history together. They learned why the stars had once burned, and why they no longer did. A Krellan child asked their parent one night, why are humans still here? The answer was simple. Because they don't leave family behind. Above the planet, the human fleet remained steady and silent. Not as conquerors. Not as rulers. But as guardians who had decided that this world mattered. Part 5, The Day the Galaxy Changed Forever. Years passed. The galaxy moved on, as it always tried to do. Trade routes reopened. Borders were redrawn. New alliances formed. But something deep had shifted, and no one could ignore it. Krell was no longer a broken world. Its cities shone again, stronger than before. Green zones replaced ruins. Defense systems stood quiet, not threatening, but ready. Human ships still orbited the planet, fewer than before, but always present. They had become a promise in metal and light. The Krellans were no longer refugees. They were partners. Krellan pilots flew alongside humans. Scientists shared knowledge. New stations were built where human and Krellan flags flew together, not as symbols of control, but of trust. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. Reports were coming in from across the stars. Pirate attacks dropped near human space. Border wars ended where humans offered mediation. Refugee worlds sent messages, not to the Council, but to Earth. They are asking humans first, one delegate said in disbelief. Another replied quietly, because humans answer. After long debate, the Council passed a new law. It was short, but powerful. Any world under human protection is to be left untouched. No empire voted against it. No one dared. On Krell, a memorial was built. Not to celebrate victory, but to remember loss. Humans and Krellan stood together in silence during the dedication. A Krellan elder spoke the final words. We asked humans for shelter, he said. They gave us a future. The human representative answered softly. You gave us a reason. Across the galaxy, the story spread. It was told in trading posts, military academies, and quiet refugee camps. Not as a warning. As a truth. Humans do not arrive looking for war. They arrive when someone is afraid and brave enough to ask for help. But when humanity answers that call, they come ready for everything that follows. Defense, rebuilding, and a promise that does not fade with time. From that day on, every empire remembered one rule. Do not hunt those protected by humanity. Because if humans give shelter, they will defend it forever.